we're trying to do is change the direction of our mindset or perspective. So if you can take action, then it'll change your focus. So if we think of a downward spiral, everything seems to be happening. Take action in the opposite direction to create that momentum going the opposite way. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about fallback habits or keystone habits, whatever you might want to call them. But these are habits. Now I'm going to pause for one brief moment. I should have had someone else introduce this while my computer has some feedback. But what we found beneficial when we work with our clients, our coaching clients doing our health mentorship program, is setting them up with a group of habits that when things aren't going as planned, when life gets busy, when things start to become a struggle that you have no control over, what are the controllables in your life? What are the small little habits that you can control? And so let's just go around. Let's go around the room, the Zoom room, and just like quickly talk about some of the habits that can be beneficial in this for people.
Sure. Well, first one is just go for a walk.
Yep.
Say get up, go for a walk, or like get outside in general. That's one.
Yeah. I think when people struggle with nutrition, my biggest thing is I always just say, like, just prep one thing. Just choose one thing to prep, and that will get you back on track in thinking about what you're putting in your body. And if you have one thing prepped, that usually sparks a little more excitement and willingness to work on the other nutrition habits. So mine is prep one thing.
Reading a book. It can be fiction or nonfiction. I know you're supposed to read fiction to relax your mind a bit, but I like to read personal development ones. Basically anything that adds can't go onto your screen, right? So something that the words are the words that are there. Nothing can be added or taken away or add stress in that. So just disconnect, create some space.
Mm-hmm.
Add water.
Yeah.
Bring water back into your day, or start your day off with that.
Yep. Like it.
Yeah. Focus on extra sleep. So this takes no effort really, besides getting yourself to bed. But when you're low on energy, it's hard to stay motivated to do hard things, and lots of things in health and fitness are hard. So I think adding extra sleep to a day or two can help you kickstart getting back on track with whatever other habits you have. So extra sleep.
Yep. And on that sleep one, going to bed earlier can help. But if you have a hard time sleeping, if you go to bed earlier, just wake up earlier, even if you're really, really tired. That'll kind of kickstart your whole sleep rhythm, your circadian rhythm again. I have coffee written down, but I need to say more than just coffee. I mean, unless that's a really good thing for you, you drink your coffee and appreciate it, but going for coffee with someone, connecting with someone, right? Someone that you can just kind of have a carefree conversation, and yeah.
Tagging off that one, I guess a gratitude practice is one. Get that one going again, even if it's just one thing, and not necessarily that. I've talked with a few people in our health mentorship program, and they, aren't a big fan of journaling or writing it down. It's like, okay, then I just want you to like work on and practice stopping and acknowledging the good things when they do happen. Or some people, they actually telling your spouse or whoever it may be, like what you're thankful for that they did that day, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Even reaching out to someone via text.
Yep. Just saying you were thinking about them or whatever, something to take your eyes off of yourself and provide, give thanks or provide value to somebody else in the form of a compliment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess since we're talking mindset, I think one of the best things can be just spending time in silence. So I've been trying to go on silent walks. I usually listen to music or podcasts or something like that. And I find if I'm plugged in for too many hours of the day, whether that be working or on social media or even just listening to things, I struggle to process things that are going on. So I think being in silence, whether that's walking or maybe while you're driving or whatever, can help kind of bring you back to like, oh yeah, this is what I'm focused on. And these are the things I can control. So having more silent time in the day.
Unplug to plug back in. We often don't know what we're feeling because Lisa got a notification because we're plugged in, right? And that actually is timely. Because we get everything through our devices now. Good news, bad news, it still stimulates a response to us. So if, like you said, Julissa, if you can unplug, you don't have that. Because, I mean, I've heard in the gym before, there's an alarm. There's a ringtone that goes on someone's phone that is an alarm in our household to wake up. So my feelings associated, like I get feelings associated with that. It's like, oh, I have to get out of bed type of thing. So we associate it like that. And basically all this is we're trying to do is change the momentum, change the direction of our mindset or perspective. What you focus on, you take action on. So if you can take action, then it'll change your focus. So if we think of a downward spiral, right? Everything seems to be happening. This happens, this happens. This is stressful, too much, too much. Take action in the opposite direction to create that momentum going the opposite way.
Yeah. I think probably, and one of the biggest ones is like having a coach or having someone who keeps you accountable and even just reaching out to them and being like, hey, I'm struggling. And so they can help remind you of like, okay, even if all these habits aren't falling into place, what's one thing you can do today? What's one thing you are committing to do today to turn this around? And I think even just telling someone that you're struggling or, you know, you've lost momentum or whatever it might be can be so helpful because then you know you have that accountability.
I like it.
Yeah.
So let's just each give one habit that people can focus on, one keystone habit. So I like to think of keystone habits as it's almost this one habit that's going to have a positive effect on all your other habits, right? So as an example, for a nutrition habit, adding protein. Why that can affect everything else is you have less room for less nutritionally dense food if you eat more protein because it's so filling, right? So that's going to actually have it's going to affect multiple things by just doing that one thing. So let's mindset, fitness, nutrition. Let's give one each.
One mindset, one fitness, and one nutrition each.
I'll leave it up to you.
I was like, man.
Well, I want to go first so that no one steals mine, but I'm just going back to the beginning and I'm taking nutrition and just prep one thing because that is going to help you be ready for the rest of the things in your life. So prep one thing. That's mine.
What do you mean by prep, Julissa?
Okay. So like, make your breakfast for the week one night so it's ready to go in the morning, or cook a bunch of chicken breasts so that you know that you have protein for your week, or maybe bake a bunch of vegetables so that you know that you have veggies to eat for your meals. So choose one thing to prep, get that done, and that's something you don't have to think about anymore that week.
I'll do a fitness one. Commit to, we always say 20 minutes, but even if you just commit to like 5 or 10 minutes of movement each day. So you commit to some amount of movement each day, whatever. You can start super small, but commit to moving each day. And like Matt said, this one kind of spills over into other areas because if you're moving for 5, 10, 20 minutes, you're probably on a screen for 5, 10, 20 less minutes as well. Getting less stimulation from that, plus you're moving your body. And usually what we find is when people move a little bit more, they want to fuel their body a little bit better because they know that it doesn't feel as good when they don't fuel their body as well. For when they do move, it's going to make you thirsty because you're going to sweat. You're going to drink probably a little more water. A bunch of stuff goes into that. So if you commit to at least, whatever timeline you want to start with, doesn't matter. But it's the act of showing up that matters. So if it's 1 minute, do that. But
like that.
a little bit of movement each day.
A little bit of movement each day. I was going to do walking, but I'm going to do mindset one. And one that's beneficial for me is writing down everything I'm afraid of, whether it's failing or whether it's all these different things. We all have these what if scenarios in our head, worst case scenario, or things on our mind. Even if it's all the tasks you have to do, write it all down. And then right after that, write down what you're grateful for, and then write out what you are going to do that you can control, right?
Yeah.
You'll start to, and you can even categorize them in different areas, saying can control, can't control, can't control, worry about it, or whatever else. And then that just gets everything out of your head onto a piece of paper. And then you can just leave it there and categorize it, take action on things you can control.
I like it.
Lovely. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. We'll see you on Thursday.